What's going on? What's going on, y'all? Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Look, shout out to Red Pill Sleeper Cell, your boy Louie. Louie, oh man, talking about digging in the crates, talking about catching them slipping. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to cover a very important part. Hopefully, you guys were able to check out what's going on, AL. Hopefully, you guys were able to check out the link. I'm going to cover about 15-ish minutes of it towards the end. I will be coming back hopefully tomorrow, maybe Tuesday, to cover everything that Louis posted. But we're gonna cover about 15 or so minutes of this because I think there's a lot to be said about patriarchy by feminist specifications. And as my title says, what's the incentive, right? I read some of you guys' comments. Shout out to Boo This Man, hysterical, right? So shout out to Dave Chappelle and whatnot. But yeah, so we're going to, huh? We're gonna cover this. Um, Listening to Kim Foster speak off the cuff, um, without the notes, it was interesting watching her grapple. But really, she didn't grapple. Actually, let's correct that. She didn't actually grapple with how do you incentivize the men, and y'all will see what Mr. Z is talking about, right? So y'all strap in, pause, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, and here we go, and we'll play this, and let's see how much how much y'all can do with it. But here we go, y'all, and fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. All right, y'all.
Flows out of chattel slavery, white supremacy, or vis-a-vis the body flesh dyad that Hortense Fields very famously gave us, among others. I'm not trying to get super dorky, so I won't go too deep into it. So for me, I think that's the originary source from which all this scramble flows. And on the grounds, I don't think white women can be trusted in the fight. I see no evidence that white women can be trusted in the fight.
I, I don't think that acknowledge.
I'm going to do something different because this is not so long. Pause. We're going to play this out one go round with no interruption, except for this. So I'm going to start it over. We're going to play this one go around, no interruption, because I have it sped up. It's actually going to be about 13-ish minutes, give or take. I think it's about 13 or so minutes. So we're going to play this without my interruption, and then we'll play it again with me giving my commentary throughout. So I'm gonna start this over, and well, I think I can. Let's actually do this. Okay, there. So now I just reset it. So we're gonna play this without interruption. Y'all go ahead and put your comments. I know y'all gonna be going in. Um, but y'all put your comments in. I didn't get the brother's name, Louis. If you don't mind, the brother that she was going kind of back and forth with, if you remember who it was. If you don't mind putting that name in the comments or his screen name, whatever it was. But this is a very important part of the conversation, at least to Z, and y'all definitely understand the title. What's the incentive? So we're gonna play this one go around without interruption, and then we'll get to my commentary when we play it again the second time. So here we go.
Flows out of chattel slavery, white supremacy, or vis-a-vis the body flesh dyad that Hortense Fields very famously gave us, among others. I'm not trying to get super dorky, so I won't go too deep into it. So for me, I think that's the originary source from which all this scramble flows. And on the grounds, I don't think white women can be trusted in the fight. I see no evidence that white women can be trusted in the fight.
I, I don't think that acknowledging. I don't think that acknowledging how entrenched, or I don't. It's not natural, but acknowledging the persistence, right, across time and space of patriarchy means that we're trusting white women. I think we should mistrust white women. Um, I just don't. I can agree with you that the current gender dynamics that we see emerge from chattel slavery. Like, I think I agree with that. Do I agree with that though? If we fix the race thing, this gender order gets mixed up, this gender order gets dismantled, but the gendered oppression and gendered violence does not get eradicated. Like, we are trying to, like when you make this argument, you're kind of forcing people who experience, and I won't even say people who experience gender oppression, because now the Black men are saying that y'all experience gender oppression, but
Oh boy.
you're trying to force women into a new fire, right? Like we could escape from one
Listen
burning
close.
house, right? The burning house that chattel slavery built, but then we're running into just regular old gender violence, right? Like if we don't contend simultaneously, right? Like I saw it in the chat. If we're not contending with multiple things at once, you're basically forcing people who experience other kinds of marginalization to work, put forth their time and their work and their effort to just build a new jail. And that is not justice for me.
Well, I agree with that, but I thought for the sake of the argument, we had to choose one or the other. I don't think
We
we could
have,
ride them both.
okay. Well, I just
Yeah.
don't, I don't like
Well,
the,
that's the fun of that's the fun of the debate.
oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to choose one.
If we have to choose,
Yeah.
but you know what? We can also talk about, okay. So let's say that gender oppression that Black men say that they experience, that's real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We can also talk about, if you're eradicating patriarchy, is there a way that Black men who, some would say aren't men, no shade,
Oh boy.
Y'all heard that?
and probably spillers would say that they're not men, that Black men, that there is a pathway to liberation there, right? Like, if the American racial order is built upon this ungendering, can you
Listen.
get to a kind of liberation that most of us have never imagined, that most Black men maybe have never imagined, because their fantasy is replacing the place of the white male. Is there something completely new and different if you are no longer beholden at all to the American gender order, which, yes, is intertwined with race, but you get to the race stuff by undoing the fake naturalized man on top, woman on bottom. Femininity must be minimized. Femininity must be stomped out, especially in men. Weakness must be stomped out, especially in men, particularly when we understand how the chains, of hypermasculinity
Listen.
hold so many Black men back, restrain them.
Hey, Zephyr, you see this shit, man? I told you. Yeah, don't listen.
I mean, Dave, you can't get to individualism until you eradicate these kinds of systems. I mean, there are individuals that can't be individuals yet. Like, we're trying to get to individualism. Like,
No, you should respond as an individual. People are talking about groups of 90%
Hold on,
plus
hold on.
who
I
don't
don't want
even
him getting
know
too
them.
off because I do want to see a
Yeah.
response to what Kim just said.
oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the essay, it's just about this insurgent new ground. I mean, my understanding of the protocol. Now I'm public radio or that's the phrase. I apologize, but fuck it. My understanding of the protocols of sort of violent Black masculinity, saying he was talking about the United States, is one that emerges out of the institutions that are born of that institution of chattel slavery, capture, shipment, and enslavement. So my understanding, and I think this is an understanding that Black liberals have understood, is that once you dismantle that system of quote unquote white supremacy, as they call whatever you want to call it, that's not dismantled unless those protocols of violent Black masculinity are gone. So in other words, this may be a weird legitimate. I apologize. Sleight of hand. So I apologize. But I don't think you have eradicated the system of white supremacy until those protocols and performances of hyperviolent Black masculinity are also eradicated. So I have that unfolded into that system because that emerges out of that. I mean, this is one of Douglas's lessons, which is why he all linked sort of women's liberation part and parcel with slave liberation and Black liberation. He never bifurcated them. I think that's one of his great interventions in his political philosophy. So I don't think you can have the eradication of white supremacy in its afterlife, so to use that phrase, without the eradication of those protocols of violence as a system. Individuals were always individual. That the individual stuff. People talk about individual. Talk about as a system. That may be a fake way to answer, and it may allow me to wiggle out more than a pig in with Crisco trying to grab. But that's what I truly believe. I believe all of this stuff, these sort of protocols and performances of these identity categories are born of those institutions. Maybe that was a trick. Maybe I put you in a trick bag,
Yeah, I'm
or put myself in a trick bag.
yeah. What's immediately coming to mind for me is okay, we can't trust white women. Um, but I'm not convinced. I understand your argument, right? That historically the black man has been the most committed, the most dedicated ally of the black woman. But we do see how this gender aspirations impact the organizing against white supremacy, right? Like what if we completely take away, what if
Listen,
the end of patriarchy means the eradication, the end of gender? And this thing that, yes, okay, I understand, born out of chattel enslavement, but like, what if we have to take away gender to even come together in such a way that attacking the race thing is even possible? Like, there is a way in which deprivation
Mm-hmm.
engenders, not engender, well, yes, engenders. Deprivation cultures gender mistrust.
Mm-hmm.
And so how can we how can we even imagine effectively coming together to battle white supremacy until the fiction of gender is gone?
This is a good retort. And um, Mills, I think it was, I forget the name. Charles Mills and Catherine T. Gaines, I think is her name. Zion brought us up. They had this debate. I'll send you the back, or you can find it. They had this debate about 15, 20 years ago. And this is a point I don't think he particularly addressed. I think it's been a stumbling. I mean, he's a much bigger brain than me. Um, and I can't solve that. I think that's actually a very good and pragmatic question. So I'm actually stumped on that question. And so it actually gets me, it takes us away from what we might call ideal theory, which he talks about, into sort of, real, into this kind of realism of politics, or real politics. I don't know the answer. That's very, very difficult to answer. So there you go. I know that you're not supposed to say that on the app, and I have a reputation for acting like I know the answers, but as I've proven again, I have no idea. I can't answer. I have to think about it. I've thought about that for a long time. In fact, the first time I thought about that question and continue to ponder that question is the first time I read The Racial Contract 20 plus years ago. And he alludes to it throughout The Racial Contract. And it's buried in it. And I don't think he ever developed a good answer to it. I don't think it's in that series of essays. They have a back and forth. Um, I don't have a good answer to it.
all right, yo. All right. Let's address a few things first. To whoever that brother was, when we cover it, hopefully tomorrow, we'll have his name. Um, I think his name was misandrist, actually. I think that his name was misogynist, or was it? As a matter of fact, let's do him. Let's respect. Out of respect, y'all give Z a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Okay, we're back. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, his name was misandrist. Herder, misandrist herder. Okay. Misandrist herder. Okay, to misandrist and to Miss Foster, there is no way. Both of y'all are stumped because you took the incentive off the table for the men to battle white supremacy. You take away patriarchy or aspiring to patriarchy, and you take the incentive off the table. That's why both of you are stumped. Huh? Misandrist, you're not the only one stumped. Miss Foster is stumped also. Okay, let's go with it. Kill any idea of patriarchal order, even benevolent patriarchy in black men. All right, cool. Their children are not going to get his last name. Him being the top dog man isn't going to engender him to the women. All of the trappings of patriarchy, there's no aspiration for none of that. And as Miss Foster was saying earlier in the conversation, we can't even imagine, like there's some great something. Okay, relax. See. You take the incentives off the table for the men, and all they have is some nebulous, generic idea of community while we're actually fighting for everyone to be an individual. So how do you herd these individuals with their individual self-interest who no longer have this race aspiration, or not even race aspiration, who no longer have this race consciousness, and who don't have a patriarchal aspiration? How do you then get those men who are no longer men in the traditional understanding of men, but as Miss Foster tried to jab at the men for, they were never men in the first place, but now they don't even have the aspiration of being men, because to be men in America is to be white men. Okay, fine. So you're going to take off everything off the table. Okay, cool. And tell these individuals to huddle up to fight white supremacy, and they're going to go along because. So you're going to fight a neo-colonial, white patriarchal-led settler state with nuclear families, the world's largest military, the world's most in-depth, capable spy and espionage apparatus. You're going to fight the world's largest economy. Huh? You're going to fight that with a bunch of individuals. No, remember, no community here, just a bunch of individuals, because we were forced into community because of our skin color. You're going to incentivize how? What's the incentive for a bunch of individuals to come together to fight this entity, neo-colonial white settler state, white patriarchal order? You're going to incentivize these brown skin XY chromosome individuals. I guess we'll say males because they're not men, right? Shout out to you, Miss Foster. Fine, we'll go with it. We're not men. We're adult males that are brown skin. Huh? And you're going to incentivize these adult males that are brown skin to assist black women to fight against the white neo-colonial settler state, white patriarchal order, nuclear families, which black men don't get. I'm sorry, I said black men, my apologies. Black adult males don't get that. Nope, 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 nope. Right? We follow behind black women. And the incentive for these adult male XY chromosome brown skin people, the incentive for them to risk life, limb to fight against white supremacy, the incentive for them is, remember, you killed all type of patriarchal aspiration. You killed all ideas of getting the girl at the end, getting the woman at the end. You killed all ideas of children last name. You killed all ideas of nuclear family. You killed all of that. You killed all ideas of being the man, right? He's the man amongst men. He's the man amongst women. You killed all of that. Ain't no gold medals. Ain't no nothing. You just do because. Huh? Shout out to you. Shout out to Misandris Herder, Miss Foster, and to Misandris Herder. The reason why you're stumped, if I'm not mistaken, he said Dubois was stumped too, right? Dubois was stumped. The reason why both of you are stumped and Dubois was stumped because there is no incentive on the table for the black men. You took it off. It's simple. You took the incentive off the table. You told them, okay, we're just going to fight this, and you get to be an individual, and you get to, imagine things, and no hierarchy, nothing. He gets nothing. He gets the shackles, maybe, if he wins, if he survives the black. Oh wait, I can't say black community. If he survives these black individuals fighting against black, excuse me, if he survives as an individual amongst other brown skin 4C curl having individuals fighting against white patriarchal led nuclear families, right? If he survives it, he gets, huh? He gets, huh? Wow. And you see why black. It's funny because Miss Foster years ago said she didn't go to Eric. She wouldn't protest for Eric Garner, and black men are not showing up, and essentially black men are lacking in all these other ways, and really, to be frank, she just gave black men the middle finger. She ain't showing up to no protests. I understand, cool, because black men are not showing up in the ways that black women need them, and okay, cool, cool, cool. Miss Foster, you want to know why? Because black men know black women like you exist. I keep on saying black men. It's not black men. You're right. Black men are not men. It's brown skinned males with 4C curls usually, maybe 3C. But yeah, adult XY chromosome brown skinned males. Yeah. This is why we say let them talk, everybody. Dear black men, dear black manosphere, this is why we say let them talk. And once again, Miss Foster, I want to stress this to you. This is a real question to you, Misandris Herder. I want to stress this to you. Do y'all tell everyday black women what's going to happen when they don't have patriarchy? Y'all could give all the other stuff like Miss Foster was saying earlier in that video. We can't even imagine, and and all the fairy tale ending with the rainbow and the unicorns. You could tell them that after that. But tell them, and this is, I want to stress this for those of you that caught the beginning of the stream. Miss Foster, I know that you read The End of Romance. I know that you read The End of Romance. Me and you both know that Dr. Sabrina String stresses that it's the end of romance as we get rid of patriarchy. If you get rid of patriarchy built off a hierarchy, it is the end of romance as we know it. It's the end. I listened to you lie to the brother when he spoke about what gender what did he call it? He called it gender, not gender excesses, gender luxuries, not luxuries. Oh man, Mr. Z lost the damn phrase. No? And he was just speaking about the benefits of gender or something along that line. And it did, I understand why Miss Foster took it a bit sexual because it did sound sexual to me initially also. The luxuries of gender, I can't remember what he called it. But Miss Foster, if you listen to the end of page, excuse me, if you listen to the end of romance, or you read the book, better yet, Mr. Z didn't read the book. I watched the interviews. Gendered pleasures. Thank you, Trell. Gendered pleasures. Right? Yes, Starman. Pleasures of gendered pleasures. Right? And thank you, Trell, and thank you, Starman. I watched the interviews. I listened to Dr. Sabrina Strings say it over and over again and stress this. Hey, romance is built off of hierarchy and patriarchy. And as we dissipate and eradicate patriarchy, guess what we don't get, ladies? And so I listened to you pontificate, bloviate, and just straight up lie to the brother. Now I'm listening to you and Misandrist Herder run into a wall of, well, well, so first of all, Miss Foster is far too trusting of white women. She know white women. She like this election stumped her a little bit. Miss Foster, white women ain't going. Y'all can't even tell black women what's not gonna come with patriarchy. Have fun telling black women and Latina women and Asian women. Oh yeah, look, if we get rid of patriarchy, so let me tell you what's going on. So yeah, hypergamy. Oh yeah, that's out the window. Uh-oh. Yeah, the idea of the man pulling out the chair and opening the doors and paying for the first date and the second and third date, and yeah, that's out the window. The idea of the passenger princess, oh yeah, that's out the window. The idea of him letting you on the elevator first, oh yeah, that's out the window. The idea of men coming to save you in case another man attacks you, or if you and a man get into a fight, you hit him first, but he's just stronger. He knocked you the hell out. Another man fights him, yeah, that's out the window. The idea of men standing up on the train to let you sit, or the men standing up on the bus to let you sit down, yeah, that's out the window. The idea of women and children first, if the boat's sinking, yeah, that's out the window. Huh? The idea of men approaching you if they find you attractive, if y'all at a bar or a club or any get together or anything, oh yeah, that's out the window. Huh? The idea of men earning more than women and being head of household because he earns more than you financially, yeah, that's out the window. The idea that men and women have that men should earn more and they're the providers, yeah, that's out the window. The idea of the protector man, yeah, that's out the window. Miss Foster, you FD signifier, huh? Cat Black, T Noir, Nappy and Hoba, Foreign Man in a Foreign Land, Conscious Lee, huh? Lil Bill, Andrewism, name them, all of y'all. Olay, huh? Quay Tan, all the folks that have been on Olay and Friends, Financial Diet, home white girl from Financial Diet, huh? Leisha Miller, white and black women, Asian women, Latina women, white liberal men, black men, Latino and Asian men that are on the left. Y'all don't tell the women what's, especially black women and black men. You do not say to the women, but okay, fine, we'll focus on the black community. Y'all don't tell women what's going to happen with the dissipation of patriarchy, with the dissipation of even aspiring to be patriarchs. Y'all don't say that to them. Y'all come over here and lecture us. You mock us as you did here. You jab at us. You never tell the women, hey, by the way, all of that's gone. All these little gender performances, yeah, the gender pleasures, all of it's gone. You never say that to the women. I watched we disagree with Dr. Sabrina Strings, but to her credit, she said it's gone. I know you read the book. I didn't even read the book. I watched her interviews. I know she said it. She said it on the interview, so you trying to tell me she didn't say it in the book? Huh? This is why y'all don't know. This is why we don't trust you. This is why we don't trust people like you, Miss Foster. I know it doesn't matter. You don't care about earning our trust or having our trust. Cool. This is why we look sideways at women like you, at people like you. Huh? And so while all of these black women mainly Some Latina women, some white women are screaming, "Where are the men? Why aren't the men any men? Why aren't there any real men anywhere? Why won't men approach us? Why won't men do this?" Y'all don't tell them, "Hey, by the way, yeah, men are not obligated to do that anymore because we're taking off the incentives off the table. Yeah, because look, with equality and equity, men aren't obligated to do that anymore. All of those were gender performances that they did because of the dance of men and women under patriarchy. Yeah, you don't get that anymore. Like a man might do it, but it's not guaranteed. Like he doesn't have to do that anymore. You might have to be the one to approach. You might have to be the one to risk him saying no. You might have to be the one to go home and have to remember that for some time, for maybe a couple of years, maybe for the rest of your life. You're the one who's going to have to risk being embarrassed. Huh? Yikes. When a man is watching you lift something heavy in your trunk and you're struggling, and another woman tries to help you and they're struggling, yeah, look, that big burly man passing you, yeah, he doesn't owe you stopping and helping you. He can watch both of you fall trying to lift that table into your trunk, and he can just keep on going and act like he didn't see it. Yeah, it's petty. Yeah, I might want to say some sexist things about him, but yeah, guess what? We took away patriarchy and all the trappings, all the gender performance, gender pleasures. Huh? And else, that's all I'm saying. With the liberation of women came the liberation of men. And I watch as all of these academics, all of these intellectuals, particularly in the black community, I watch them never say that to black women. Huh? I sit it to FD signifier that first conversation. Y'all come over here wagging y'all finger at us. Y'all never tell the ladies what's gonna happen as black men say, "Oh, okay, well, all right, we're man not, and we never gonna be." Oh, so in a world in a world with no patriarchy, no man led nothing, no assumption of men anything, the children don't get on last name automatically. We freestyling. Everybody's freestyling except for the elites who still gonna have nuclear families, of course. Huh? We're not gonna mention nothing about the economics and how it's mainly the top 20 and 25% still getting married, having children in nuclear family. Everybody else go freestyle. Huh? Mainly white families, true indeed, but fine. Y'all don't tell the ladies none of that. Huh? So once again to the title, what's the incentive for black men to participate in any of this? To misandrist Herder and to Kim Foster, and y'all could tag him in this. I don't know what he is, if he has a YouTube channel or whatever. Y'all could send this to him. That's a real question. Appreciate what you're saying to black men. Hey, black men, all of the things, all of the accolades, all of the, you don't get none of that. You don't get any of that. I'm gonna just kill your ideas now. Don't even aspire for it. You ain't gonna get none of that. Huh? So you're getting none of that, but we still need you as an individual brown skin, 4C, 3C curled, lighter skin, darker skin, but you're considered quote unquote black, and you're considered quote unquote man, or at least male. We need you to assist black women, because of course they're the leaders, to assist black women to fight and overthrow the white patriarchal neo-colonial settler state, largest economy in the world, most kick-ass, maybe second to the Mossad, but probably not first, most kick-ass spying clandestine apparatus on the planet. We need you to fight against that. No, many of you are going to get deleted. You're probably going to lose. Huh? But we need you to fight that for the betterment of black children, or the people that are considered black children, and black women for the people that are considered black women. And let's say you were to defeat this, which you get is freestyling black women, nuclear family out the window, children with your last name out the window, children who you can raise to be men. What is a man? Huh? Wow. No wonder you were stumped. Misandrist herder. I would love to see y'all try to sell this to black women, quote unquote black women. Woo. Wow, y'all heard that? That was only 1/3 of the record. A little under 1/3. That was a little under 1/3. Y'all didn't even hear the beginning. Huh? And Jay Moore says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Jay Moore says, she's clearly making it up as she goes while using big words to make it sound like she's saying something, aka Dr. Cheyenne Bryan. Oh no. Huh? Doctor, yeah, we saw it. I saw the clip. I'm gonna cover it myself of Dr. Cheyenne Bryan getting caught up. I saw it. She out here with a dude a decade younger than her, or was it even more than a decade younger than her? It was more than a decade, right? He was in his what, early 30s, and she been with him for a while now. They've been on and off. Yeah, I saw. I saw. Oh boy. Huh? Got caught up. Ah, yeah. Shout out to Corey Holcomb. Uh-huh. That didn't take too long. That's why I say let them talk. She burst onto the scene a few months ago, and look, already. There you go. It's done. Pack it up. It's done. Shout out to Dr. Cheyenne Bryan. Got caught up just like that. Huh? Yikes. KMS says Cheyenne grooming. Apparently, she been with old boy for what? She said on and off for what, 7 years, a decade, something like that. Huh? Yikes. Yeah. Huh? Let all these people talk. Let Miss Foster talk. Huh? I told y'all, Khadijah got her man now, y'all. It's a white dude, but she got her man now. White man with a septum ring, but okay, fine. White man. Huh? I know Indigo. And Indigo says, oh, wrong one, wrong one, wrong one. Wait a minute. Indigo says, you're being real generous calling her Dr. Z. Yeah, no, you know what? We'll just call her by whatever title. It means nothing now. Huh? You went against an athlete and got beheaded. Huh? Shout out to Cam Newton. Shout out to Nick Cannon. You went up against the right one and you got beheaded in a matter of 2 and 3 questions. Huh? And that's how you do it. Shout out to Miss Foster. Shout out to Misandrist Herder. Have fun with y'all project. Have fun with your project. Huh? Watching and listening. Shout out to Louis. Once again, shout out to Red Pill Sleeper Cell. Doing the Lord's work. So y'all go watch women, black women in particular, scream and holler. Why aren't the men showing up to the mixers and the speed dating events and the matchmaking events? And here's Kim Foster, at least on her stuff that's public, the stuff that's not members only, the stuff that's not Patreon. Huh? Right? She says nothing about that stuff. So you're watching women say, "What happened to the real men? Why aren't men approaching? Why?" And y'all say nothing. Dr. Time, you say no. Where are you, Dr. Time? Huh? Kim Foster? Nothing. I watch y'all say no. Y'all hear, listen, everyone. The women that are not in the know, white, black, Latina, y'all see the videos? They're all over the internet. They're screaming. Why are the men showing up to mixers and speed dating events and matchmaking events? Why are the men holding the doors open? Why are the men talking to us? Why are the men? And they're screaming it all over the internet. Are some of them putting on? Yes, of course. Are some of them being extra? Of course. The women are saying that, and you notice Kim Foster, at least on her stuff that's not members only, that's not Patreon, at least the stuff that's accessible easily, she not saying nothing to that. Oh, you better believe it. They never address it. Because for them to address it is to say to the women, hey, we got a project going on over here, so y'all ain't gonna get none of it. I said it to you, FD. Wait until y'all say to the ladies, oh, by the way, ladies, y'all don't get that. Huh? The men holding doors open because that's what they're supposed to do as men? Yeah, they're not men anymore. We took away that, so they ain't gonna do it. Some of them will, but they're no longer obligated. Huh? Yikes. Huh? Ye- Starman said, you've been his work for 5 years. Hey, yeah, he was catching her all the way up. KMS says, Paul Pierce, the truth got her. Yo, in a matter of a couple questions, he really got her with the first question. Two-piece. I want to emphasize this to every black person under the sound of my voice. Miss Foster and Misandris Herder, and the way they think, those are the folks in academia. Those are the folks oftentimes in the background and the behind the scenes, moving and shaking with politicians. These are politicians' advisors. These are the people that turn around oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes and get married. And they never tell you what the cost of their project is for you. Black men are far more, especially for those of us in the black manosphere, we understand what their project means for black men, obviously, because we're living it, and black women. Black women, on the other hand, your everyday black woman, including your college educated black women, they don't appreciate this. That's why they sound absolutely insane and F nuts. Y'all know what Mr. Z means. Huh? Because they really are looking for patriarchy with feminist specifications. You better believe it. Because no one's telling them you don't get that. Well, we are. We're telling them that. The Kim Fosters are not. The Misandris Herders are not. Huh? Yikes. Joe, remember me saying that, bro? Bro, bench pressing twigs and leaves. Yeah, he swole. Huh? For those of you who don't know about Balamuccio is the Black Manosphere's unofficial, official pet ant, right? Because we're ants, we have accepted that non-black folks, not non-black women, not them, increasingly, but according to the Miss Fosters of the world and the FDs of the world, especially for the Black Manosphere, we're nothing but ants. We're sexist, misogynist, excuse me. We're sexist, misogynist, misogynoirist, colorist, futurist, fatphobic, homophobic, transphobic. Jesus Christ, Z for real. Texturist, futurist, if I didn't say that already. Um, Adult males that are not men. Shout out to Trell. Brown skin, excuse me. Brown skin, darker skin, lighter skin. That's not white. 3C and 4C curl having, maybe bald, adult males that are not men, but we are sexist. I see you said that already. True. And so we've accepted this, and we just go chill with Balamuccio if we can't get a black woman on our program, or we haven't got our passport yet, or we're waiting to go out of town again, overseas again, right? Before we decide whether we're going to be, whether we're going to be SYSBM, we chill with our pet aunt Balamuccio.
So where are the men? Where do y'all hang out? If you don't go to coffee...
I have been watching this colony of ants for maybe the last 30 minutes. I've even given them names, life stories. That's Barlamuccio. He's always been a loner. And if you sit and watch Barlamuccio for about 30 minutes, you'll notice, see, he just quick to pass off. He is his own ant. And notice how he's a lot bigger than a lot of the other ones as well. Oh, Barlamuccio, I will miss you, because I won't realize which one you are after this interaction.
And thus ended the tale of Barlamuccio. Good old Barlamuccio.
All hail Barlamuccio. Wow. So yes, this is the type of conversation that happens in academia, everyone. This is how your elites speak of the future of black people. It was all by design. And so you have black men that keep on getting caught up. They keep on being told it's her story and heroes and but say her name and all of this stuff, and they're minimizing. You have that author that she wanted to highlight, and okay, Mr. Z don't have a problem with that. Highlight the mothers of the revolution, and they want to speak about Malcolm's mom and Martin's mom, and who else was it? Was it Medgar Evers' mother? Who else was the other? Who else mother was it? Huh? Cool. Huh? Because their sons are getting way too much attention. Oh boy. Huh? It's by design. And so as black men become indifferent or despondent, apathetic, as they disappear from the black community, the Kim Fosters never, coward, never say to black women, yeah, black men are retreating. They're retreating from public spaces because we're making it toxic for them. So it's the FDs of the world and the foreigners. Have fun trying to hold up the black community with, give or take, I don't know what, 15, 20% of black men and 80% of black women. Have fun with that. Let me know how it works. The 20% of black men, y'all could stand to stand. Y'all could stand to be around. And about 80%, maybe 90% of black women. Have fun with that. Let me know how it works. Wait, Z, it's not working. Reports in. Wait a minute. It's not working. Okay, yeah, there you go. Huh? Hysterical. L says, I heard Balamuccio found the One Piece. He found it before Luffy. That's hysterical. Huh? KMS said Balamuccio would release the Epstein files. Hysterical. Huh? Yikes. I definitely wanted to play that for y'all. Huh? To stress to everyone, this is what y'all dealing with. The Kim Fosters of the world and the misandrous hoarder of the world, those are your children's professors in college and university. No? And we expect black, I guess, X chromosome, because wait. Maybe black women are still women, but black men aren't men. They're brown skin and dark skin and waffle colored. um lighter skinned males. So I guess we'll still call black women women, because you remember black women are still better than these people we used to call black men, or we refer to as black men, but they're not. Okay, cool. You wonder why black women have such a difficult time coupling with anyone. Who, Damsey, you said that out loud with your chest. Because they come out of university being inundated, indoctrinated, educated, indoctrinated with this type of education, indoctrination. Wow. Huh? Yikes. Wow. You wonder why your daughters, black women, come out of college and university and they can only end up with other black women. Not white men, not Latino men, not Asian men, not even Asian women or Latinas or white women. Not black men. Black women, increasingly, 23% of them can be some type of bisexual, homosexual, pansexual, do whatever sexual. You wonder why? Because who's signing up to be with a black woman who was educated by a misandrous hoarder or by a Kim Foster, and they think about intimate, romantic, oh wait, Z, no more romance, you're right, intimate relationship, situationship, whatever ship, because I don't know what we calling it now, with freestyling ass black women. Do whatever you the hell you want, do whatever is sexuals. Black women, who's signing up for that? Huh? Exactly, Tro. Do whatever sexuals. Put it in the book. Y'all heard it here first. Well, maybe you heard it here first. I don't know if anybody ever said that before. Do whatever sexuals. Huh? Freestyle sexuals. Whatever sexuals. We could keep on going. I like whatever sexuals too, actually. Hey man, have fun with this. Have fun with this. Huh? Yikes. No, Telescope, I gotta leave it up. I gotta leave it up because we talking about her. We gotta have her up. Telescope says, change the image, Z. I don't need this burning into my laptop screen. Huh? Passport OG says, fill in the blank sexuals. You hear me? Wow. Freestyle sexuals, whatever sexuals, do whatever sexuals. Huh? Wow. And look, if that's what a number of black women decide to sign up for, that is cool. Have fun with that. I just want to know who the hell gonna sign up with you. Huh? That interracial marriage rate for black men that are married, that interracial marriage rate is what, 21% now? All right. Huh? Oh man. Y'all heard this. The disillusionment of all of it. They want to strip all of it. Cool. And they're trying to figure out which comes first, fighting against the patriarchy, huh? Or white supremacy. You heard what Kim Foster and Misandrist Herder both came to the conclusion you got to fight the gender first. You got to fight black men and this idea of being a man actually first. And then what's the incentive? That is the question. And that's all they're gonna be, KMS. Lonely sexuals. That's all they're gonna be. Y'all want to strip the idea of men in gender man performance because you think and you've convinced yourselves that black men trying to be men is black men trying to be white men. And wanting to be leaders. Either we will be or you're gonna be fighting this by your damn self. Have fun with it. Okay, fine. You want to fight the hierarchy, the idea of men just coming out the womb because he's XY chromosome. He thinks he's supposed to be the leader and he's supposed to run things and run the women and run the children, and you want to disabuse him of all of that. Okay, cool. And then the incentive for him to fight for black women to be women or to be free from white patriarchal domination. His incentive for him risking his life, his livelihood, the incentive is what? That is a real ass question. I am not being funny. That's not a lead on question. Huh? That is a real question. That's not a loaded question. That is a real question. The incentive, shout out to Real Talk with Yeti. What's the incentive? The incentive is what? Huh? Dolomite says socially incompatibles turning full social pariahs. Bro, I'm lost for words right there. You stumped me a little bit. But no, serious. What is the incentive? Huh? Wait, so you think you're gonna have a whole bunch of dudes, I guess, XY chromosome, risking their life and livelihood for women that are not going to be theirs, for children who are not going to be theirs, for something that's not actually a community. Remember, y'all were talking about individuals earlier in the stream, and even here, y'all were talking about individuals. So black males will be fighting for not a community, not women that are theirs, not children that are theirs, just fighting to free us to reimagine and you never know what can come from this. And wait, what? Oh man, bro, I'm listening to this thing. Shout out to Louis again. Shout out to Red Pill Sleeper Cell. I'm listening to this and I'm like, oh, y'all have gone off the deep end with this. Oh, y'all done got off the deep end for real. Huh? And let me read this. In KMS, it took me a while. Let me get to this. And KMS says, at this point, as much as black women hate black men, I'm almost 1000% positive they hate black women more. To say nothing of their hatred of children. You know, it's a conclusion I've come to. Shout out to Compassion. I think he might have came to similar conclusion. We've had this conversation before. I think, and a lot of this has been informed by these people, the T Noirs, the Kim Fosters, the Khadijahs. It really is, and I don't think they would admit it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It really is. If we don't get to be white women, to hell with all of this, and we'll start off ripping brick by brick this black quote unquote community, but the end goal is to tear down that white patriarchal order over there because they never let us be white women politically and socially. I want y'all to appreciate the Steve Bannon see y'all coming. Huh? I want y'all to appreciate that. The JD Vance see y'all coming. I want you to appreciate that. Huh? The Jared Kushners see y'all coming. I want you to appreciate that. Huh? They're not going to let it happen. They will let you, Tasmanian devil, destroy the black thing that used to be a community, or that we at least used to refer to as a community. They'll let you, Tasmanian devil, that. Have fun doing that over there. Have fun incentivizing enough white women to do that over there. Have fun with that. Huh? JD Vance, see what y'all on. Steve Bannon, see what y'all on. Rush Limbaugh. Mm, I almost said something mad. I'm not. I do not dance on the unalived's grave. I do not dance on the unalived grave. Okay. Rush Limbaugh, the unalived Rush Limbaugh, the deceased of that. That's what I was trying to say. The deceased Rush Limbaugh. There you go. See, he didn't trust y'all. I want y'all to appreciate. They know what y'all are on. Dear black women and dear black men who think like Misandrous Hoarder, or Herder, better yet, sorry, Herder. I want y'all to know they see what y'all on. That's why they make sure to stay the hell away from you when they see you coming. They make sure to snatch their women by the arm. Get over here when they see you try to talk to them. Huh? If they see one of their women, white women, infected by your way of thinking, they leave her out there. Huh? Yikes. Huh? KMS also says, and thank you for the super chat. KMS also says, black women are America's nihilist. How are they not? I I truly think when you start talking about the Kim Fosters of the world, I do see it as that. I think you know too much. You know, pause for the statement, you know how the sausage is made. And so for you, you're like, oh, we'll never be. The money won't make me that. Oh, I'll never be. The status won't make me that. Oh, I'll never be? Well, then burn it to the ground then. Huh? And yeah, that's pretty damn nihilistic. I agree, KMS. Now, black men like us, shout out to Dr. Tommy Curry. We read The Man Not. We listened to it on audiobook, right? We get it. And it's like, okay, well, I'm not a white man. And in many people's eyes, I'm not a man because I'm not a white man. Oh well, still gotta live life. Huh? Still got a lady to take care of. Still got kids to take care of. Still living life. Huh? Still trying to haul that shorty over there. Like the women, on the other hand, they wake up to they never gonna be white women. It's like, oh, I'm never gonna be a white woman. All right then. Huh? Yikes. Huh? Black women find out they're not gonna be white women and they walk away from that meeting like with the face of vengeance. I'ma show you. I'ma show you black men. I'ma show you white women. I'ma show you white men. I'ma show the world. I'ma destroy all of it. They walk away with this face. Huh? Shout out to Gabrielle Union. They're like, oh yeah, watch this, huh? Yikes! I'm gonna read this one from KMS. He says, according to the statistics, the most dangerous place for a black child is in the womb of their mother. Don't get much black pill than that. Yeah, and remember, Miss Foster is a radical. I don't know if the word is abortionist. She believes in, hey, just get it for whatever reason you want to get it. It don't have to be any type of incest. It don't gotta be none of that. Just because you wanted to, and you could get as many as you want. Hey, all right, cool. Which speaks to what KMS is saying right now. I want us to appreciate, even for the black women that we go fist to cuffs with, right? The hood sisters, all the get the money, and if you want to leak me, hit my Cash App and whatever. I want all of you ladies to appreciate you ain't the head honcho of black women. The Kim Fosters are. She's the intellectual ones. She's the intellectual ones, and I want you to appreciate this. All you black women complaining about the black men not talking to you, about how black men stay the hell away from you. How if you say you're a feminist, we run the opposite direction. We leave you for the white guys. Don't worry about it. You, Cartwright, you got it. Huh? The second we even smell, I smell. You smell that? I smell feminist, and we run the other way. You ain't never seen somebody run faster in your life. We Usain Bolt running the other way. It's because of the Kim Fosters. The Kim Fosters that are in their 60s, the Kim Fosters in their 50s, the Kim Fosters in their 40s, the Kim Foster in their 30s, she's in her 30s, the Kim Foster in their 20s, the Kim Foster in their teens. We're running the opposite direction. You ain't never seen somebody run faster in your life. We right next to the Bugatti, running right next to it. Huh? We right next to the space shuttle. We're running right next to it. Huh? We right next to the bullet train. We're running right next to it. Huh? Keeping up. You ain't never seen somebody run faster in your life. Huh? We'll be on top of cowards. We'll be on top of incels. You could go ahead and say it. We'll be that. Huh? We'll be on top of losers. You heard what Miss Foster said. She said it in her own voice. The only thing Mr. Z did was speed this up. And don't worry, hopefully either sometime tomorrow or sometime the next day, y'all will hear it in context, even more context. We gonna play the whole thing. Huh? If you want to take every single incentive off the table for black men, y'all are deleting black children in your stomachs more than anybody else in America. Huh? You're weaponizing the institutions as much as you can against black men. You're marginalizing and sidelining black men. You heard Miss Foster when she tried to mock us. Now black men are saying they experience gender violence. Okay, whatever. Huh? Y'all heard her. I'm gonna play it again, one more again before we end out. Huh? You see how she made those little sassy ass sideways remarks about black men. Well, some people would say black men are not men. Huh? Yeah. Dear black women, we gonna make you feel every bit and every word, every syllable, every letter of Kim Foster. Don't worry, black men will not be attacking you. You know what black men gonna do? Indifference, apathy, being despondent. And you could just eat that. And remember, y'all said nothing to Miss Foster, and Miss Foster said nothing to you. She did not tell you would come with the end of any type of patriarchal aspiration, the any type of any of this, right? Fine. And y'all didn't tell her to shut the hell up if she's not speaking for you. And you definitely ain't make it public. So if we ain't hear it, you ain't say it. That's what Mr. Z operating on. If we didn't hear you say it to her publicly, then you didn't say it. And we black men will move accordingly. Huh? I want us to be very clear. Black women who disagree with Kim Foster, y'all say nothing about it. You're over there with her, and we're going to treat you like you over there with her. Shout out to her man, though. All right, playing boy, she led. You know what it is, more and more. And she said her and him, Mr. Freudian slip there. Her and him have some type of understanding. Cool. She's just the type of Z, stop doing that. He's just the type of, I guess, dude that she was looking for. All right, cool. Hey, huh? Not ejectocito, cuz. Shout out to Tyrese. For those of you that don't know, that's a Fast and the Furious 2 reference. And Telescope says, that ain't a moon, that's an ejector seat. Ejectocito, cuz. Huh? That's hysterical, Cam, as I ain't gonna read that out loud. Huh? Yikes. Huh? KMS also says, black women crush the men, also black women. What happened to the provider men? I swear these hoes are, he says, stupid. Huh? And that's why I keep on saying, dear black women, get your lives together. Black women need to have a closed door meeting with other black women. We're going to have that shit wiretapped. Black women going to have a closed door meeting with other black women where they get their lives together. And then black women are going to have a meeting with other women of other races and ethnicities and demographic to get all of their lives together. Huh? Y'all need to get your lives together. And what would be great is for the Khadijas and the Kim Fosters of the world, the T Noirs and the nappy-headed Johobas of the world, to say to the masses of black women in the West, particularly in America, what their dreams and aspirations are and what that necessarily means for black women. Yeah, black women. See, him paying for the dates, yeah, that might not happen. Yeah, him pulling the chair out, yeah, that might not happen. Him opening the car door, yeah, that might not happen. Yeah. Yeah, about that. Him making the move during sex, yeah, that might not happen. The sex act flowing smoothly, him not checking in every 5 seconds. Can I touch you here? Can I do this? Can I grab that? Can I? Yeah, that might not happen. We don't want him to make any assumptions, remember? For those of us that remember the article that was written by that white woman who actually was annoyed because she was looking for a hookup. She got the hookup, and all throughout the hookup, every 5 seconds, he's checking in. Do you like this? Can I touch that? Can I do this? And she finally said, "Look, hey, it was just a blank check. Just do whatever." And then he ghosted her afterward. And then she wrote an article about it for all of us that remember that. Yeah, ladies. Uh-oh. This is what comes with what y'all want this. Remember, you wanted this. Huh? Going to what KMS said. What happened to the provider men? Crush the men, also black women. What happened to the provider men? Exactly. And once again, to KMS, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Yikes. And I think Share the Light is trying to say, let's be honest. If we're to take Yeah, because I don't know what word is missing there. But let's be honest, we to take a lot of these privileges from the women, they haven't earned anything. Yeah, but that was part of the dance. That was part of the social contract. What what gets Z, and this goes back to when Miss Foster said that she read the Indo Romance, Dr. Sabrina String's book, and she was a little heartbroken. And I took that and I was like, wait, what the hell did you think? Wait, you just think these, you're the one, you should know out of all people, you took Africana Studies, did you not, at Harvard? That's a social science. You should know this is a dance. This was part of the contract. This is a part of the social contract. This dance that men and women do didn't just come out of the sky. This is fine tuned. And the one that we're doing right now has a bit of a European flavor, of course, because we were colonized and enslaved. And if you want equality, if you want equity, if you want the dismemberment, we're just going to find one of these words, right? The end of the patriarchy, particularly in the black community. Well, there's no real patriarchy in the black community. We all agree on that one. But even some type of aspiration for quote unquote manhood and patriarchy and some type of black male leadership, if you want to completely crush even the idea, even the aspiration of that, guess what, Miss Foster? The Indo-Romance, because that's built off a hierarchy. The fact that that didn't just that you just didn't, excuse me, you didn't come to that conclusion naturally is astonishing to Z. Ramen. The fact that you didn't, huh, you couldn't do that social math, and Dr. Sabrina Strings had to hold your hand to get there through that book, and you still look like you are, you still have issues coming to terms with that, because I saw you lie to the brother, or I listened to you lie to the brother on Clubhouse. Huh? Why are you still grappling with this? It's easy math. Once again, going to the title of the stream, what's the incentive? If the women want to obliterate patriarchy, obliterate any aspiration, obliterate any idea of man being leader and this and that and manhood, huh? If women want to do that, black women in specific want to do that to any concepts of manhood that black men have, then you get nothing. Part of the social contract is this dance. And if you decided we're either not doing this particular dance anymore or F a dance, any dance, then you get nothing. You kicked over the goddamn Jenga blocks. And if you kick over the Jenga blocks, you get nothing.
You will put other people in this organization at risk, and that organization does not want to take that risk. So you do not have this job anymore if you decline it. With any public health decision, there has to be a consequence to you not participating in that social contract.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Huh? And to misandrous herder, you're stumped. Why are you stumped? You took you and Miss Foster, y'all acted. I listened to y'all say we have to combat this gendered performance thing, whatever the hell, before we fight white supremacy. So you're going to defang the men and then expect them. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Z said men. Oops. Defang the people we used to consider black men. They're really, I guess, underclass males, we'll say, brown underclass males, XY chromosome brown males. We're going to defang them, and then we're going to ask these defanged underclass brown males XY chromosome males that are brown to literally put their life on the line, their livelihood on the line for black women who are individuals. Remember, there's no community. How in the hell is this supposed to work? Huh? KMS and detested men. Detesticled men? Right? Castrated brown XY chromosome males. Who's doing the castration? Black women or white men? Oops. Right? So we're gonna listen to this one more again. I'll give a bit more commentary and we go in and out. We gonna try to do a whole 3-hour stream tonight. No need. I think I've tortured y'all and waterboarded y'all enough. Shout out to the replay gang. Like, share, subscribe, hit the thank you button for the replay gang. Once again, let's do the fair use thing. Fair use, right? And let's commence the waterboarding, everyone. Commence the waterboarding. Once again, fair use. All right.
Flows out of chattel slavery, white supremacy, or vis-a-vis the body flesh dyad that Hortense Fields very famously gave us, among others. I'm not trying to get super dorky, so I won't go too deep into it. So for me, I think that's the originary source from which all this scramble flows. And on the real, I don't think white women can be trusted in the fight. I see no evidence that white women can be trusted in the fight.
I don't think that acknowledging I don't think that acknowledging how entrenched or I don't it's not natural, but acknowledging the persistence, right, across time and space of patriarchy means that we're trusting white women. I think we should mistrust white women. I just don't. I can agree with you that the current gender dynamics that we see emerge from chattel slavery. Like, I think I agree with that. Do I agree with that though? If we fix the race thing, this gender order gets mixed up, this gender order gets dismantled, but the gendered oppression and gendered violence does not get eradicated.
So what she's saying is if we get rid of white supremacy first, this oppression of women, let's call a thing, this gendered oppression of, I guess, LGBTQ folks and of women in particular still stays there. So there's a gendered oppression. So we're still having the debate, the centuries-old debate amongst black people, because white women said for majority of them still, hey, if you got to make us choose between being white and being a woman, we're going to choose white every day, all day. So have fun trying to get them to choose women first. You just watched them not do it in the majority during this election, though. Oops. So that should let you know where they at. And remember, that was the grab them by the vagina ass president. And they showed you 3 times in a row that they choosing white over woman all day, every day. So race comes before gender for the majority of white women. But in the black, I guess what used to be called a community, I guess we'll call it the black collective of individuals, the individual collectives of black people, or who was considered black, however they want to call it now. We are having a centuries-old debate about what comes first, the chicken or the egg. Should we fight gender first and gender oppression in black people, black men, XY chromosome, brown skin males? Or should we fight white supremacy first? I think we should fight the gender first. We are still having that debate. Oh boy. Continuing.
Like, we are trying to, like when you make this argument, you're kind of forcing people who experience, and I won't even say people who experience gender oppression, because now the Black men are saying that y'all experience gender oppression. But
Oh boy.
Look at that throwaway line. Look at that little jab. That little sassy jab. Now Black men are talking about they experience gender oppression. Ma'am, Miss Foster, women like you occupy pretty high positions in this community, maybe? And you, in women like you, often have the ears of the technocrats. If you yourself, or women like you, aren't some type of pseudo Black technocrats. Yes, Black men experience gender oppression by women like you. Z, you need to stop calling Black males Black men, because Black males are not Black men. There is no Black men, Z. You remember? Huh? Yes, ma'am. Gender oppression by white society and by Black women like you. See, Black women still get to be women. There is no Black men. It's Black males. I guess it's not even Black males. It's brown skin, XY chromosome males ish.
they're
Continue.
trying to force women into a new fire, right? Like we could escape from one burning house, right? The burning house that chattel slavery built. But then we're running into just regular old gender violence, right? Like if we don't
They could be running out of white supremacy. Understand what she just said. If we don't subdue these Negroes first, we're running from white supremacy into gendered violence. Who's going to be enacting this supposed gendered violence? Of course, you, sir. XY chromosome brown skin males, brown skin males, formerly known as Black men. Rest in peace, Prince. The artist formerly known as Black men. Huh? Harvard educated, yo. Yikes.
we
Continuing.
don't contend simultaneously, right? Like I saw it in the chat. If we're not contending with multiple things at once, you're basically forcing people who experience other kinds of marginalization to work, put forth their time and their work and their effort to just build a new jail. And that is not justice for me.
Appreciate what she's saying. If we're not fighting white supremacy and this supposed gender violence, who's enacting the gender violence? Black men. Oh, excuse me. The artist formerly known as Black men. If we're not fighting both simultaneously, then what will happen if you fight white supremacy by itself first? Then Black women will be put in the jail. So what she's saying is they have fully bought into Elizabeth Cane Stanton and what's her face? Not Gloria Steinem. What's the other one? God damn, it's right there. Margaret Sanger. There you go. And their ideas and notions of this oppression of women. If you give Black men the vote first, if you let Black men be too free, it's good to know Miss Foster buys into it a century plus later. It's good to know that she said, yeah, you know what? Yeah, they right. Look. If we fight white supremacy first, then we stuck in jail with Black men. Black men gonna lock us up. Black men gonna have us out here barefoot and pregnant, and they're gonna be beating our ass. It's good to know a century plus later, we have a Black woman regurgitating racist white women's ideas of Black men. It's good to know. Thank you, Miss Foster. Huh? Who needs the white racist women? Who needs white racist men when we got black women who think like this again about the artists formerly known as black men? Huh? Because apparently black women are going to be thrusted into some type of oppressive ass jail like situation. If we were to defeat white supremacy tomorrow, then black women are stuck in this oppressive jail, right? Constructed by black men. Oh boy, you gotta love it. Continuing.
Well, I agree with that, but I thought for the sake of the argument, we had to choose one or the other. I don't think
We
we need
have.
to lock in.
Okay. Well, I
Shout out to you, Misandris Herder, who said, I agree with that. Y'all heard him. Continuing.
then I just
Yeah.
don't. I don't like the. I don't like
Well,
the.
that's the fun of the that's the fun of the debate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to choose one.
If we
For
have to
me, it's
choose,
yeah.
but you know what? We can also talk about. Okay, so let's say that gender oppression that black men say that they experience, that's
Yeah.
real. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say that the gender violence that black men say they experience, let's say that it's real. Okay. So we're not to question black women's experience of gendered violence. But black men, you're just saying that just to say, well, okay, let's say it's real for sake of argument. Continuing. Hey, bro, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Continuing. Continuing. Oh man. Hey, remember, for all of you that listen to the whole thing, we ain't even talk about black community now. We talk about black individuals. Excuse me. We're talking about individuals formerly known as the black community. That's how Mr. Z gonna start referring to it from now on. That's how we go. That's why y'all want to go. All right then. These collective of individuals formerly known as the black community. Huh? Look at how she speak about it. This is where we are. To all the people that wonder, all of you pro-blacks, you wonder what the hell is going on. Kim Foster is snitching, y'all. This conversation was so illuminating for Z because it confirmed exactly what I thought they was on. Ain't no community. Their goal is to be free individuals shackled by nothing. And you wonder why, particularly white conservatives, are shielding themselves from you. She is fully marketized. Z, that's not a word, I know. It's not the perniciousness of the market, what you think about buying things and whatnot. No, it's the ideas. It's not the products, it's the ideas. It's the sentiments. They want to be these individuals that are swayed by nothing, that are influenced by nothing, except for the market, of course. That are shamed by no one. That have to adhere to no rules, no norms, no customs, but yet have other individual people that formerly were considered men, black men, still assist them in overturning this white supremacist order. With what incentives on the table? None. Oh boy, y'all are hearing this. You gotta love it. Continuing.
We can also talk about, if you're eradicating patriarchy, is there a way that black men who, some would say aren't men, no shade,
Hey, you heard her. Who would say Artman? No shade. No shade. Yes, shade. Yes, you meant it the way you said it. Yeah, right. You meant it the way. No shade. No. You meant shade. You definitely meant shade. Hey, whenever you listen to Miss Foster speak, she does this every single. She can't help it. Miss Foster, grow up. Them Negroes ain't choose you in high school. Grow up. Yes, Mr. Z got the clip. The black jocks and the black nerds didn't check for you in high school. You went to prom with the white dude who might have been the one that took your virginity. Oops. We still ain't never get an answer on it, and it says a lot. Yes, it means a lot, and you know it. I don't want to hear nothing about what does that supposed to mean. Ew, you're weird. You're cringe. Miss me with it. Huh? Every single time Miss Foster speak about black men, she take those jabs because she still ain't get over she wasn't chose in high school. Let's be fair, she wasn't chose in college neither. Whether she was with the 6 foot tall, I think she said 6'6" or 6'7", she dated in university or college or whoever the hell. Yeah, he ain't the one you with now, ain't he? Ooh, he ain't the one. He's not the one you're with now, is he? So black men gotta feel this from you. Pause. We have to deal with this what intellectual hatred? Huh? Because you wasn't chosen high school. You could talk around it all you want, Miss Foster. You could speak like you're above it all you want, Miss Foster. We still dealing with a chick that's bitter that she wasn't chosen high school by the black jocks or black nerds. Sorry, the formerly known as black men, black males, jocks and nerds in high school. Lame ass. Continuing.
No shade.
Oh boy.
And probably spillers would say that they're not men. That black men, that there is a.
Hey, we don't care about. Ooh, it's so hard to not make an ad hominem attack about a short, frumpy troll at. Oh, it's so hard because we know what her real issue is. Oh, we know what her real issue is. It's so difficult to talk like that's not her real issue. To talk like everything she's saying isn't informed by extreme hatred and anger that she's never been chose by the men she finds attractive, and now she had to settle for a brother she'd a bit. Z, stop making it personal. Z, stop making it personal. Stop making it personal. Z. We gotta pretend like we take her at face value, Z. We gotta pretend like she not saying what she's saying because when she look in the mirror, she knows she ain't the chosen. Z. Ooh, Z, stop. You gotta stop, Z. You gotta take her at face value in good faith and pretend like you know that she's saying this out of a sense of good faith. This is good faith argument, Z. This has nothing to do with the fact that she's never been the preference and she's got over it. She's over it. She doesn't speak like this about black men because she knows she's not the preference and colorism and featurism and texturism. Huh? She's not jabbing because she's not the preference, Z. She's not just a little bitter troll, Z, hiding behind a Harvard degree. Ramen. Continuing.
If the American racial order is built upon this ungendering, can you get to a kind of liberation that most of us have never imagined, that most black men maybe have never imagined, because their fantasy is replacing the place of the white male.
Okay. I'm trying so hard. Ooh. Ooh, I'm trying hard. Ooh, because I'm the profanity. Ooh. Okay. I refuse. I don't know about the rest of you. I refuse for a wannabe upper class white woman, and that's what you are, Miss Foster. A failed, never gonna be a white woman and never gonna be a preference ass black troll short woman to say that black men want to be white men. Ma'am, we're not the ones relaxing our hair. Huh? We're not the ones saying we're not going to settle because black women aren't European looking enough. black women don't have the status of their not white zaddies. We're not the ones, ma'am. We're not the ones, ma'am. We're not the ones who still mad that the sisters wasn't picking us in high school, ma'am. We're not the ones. Huh? We're not the ones that continue to say to black women, you ain't women. You woman not. You woman not. We're not the ones, ma'am. Huh? Whew. Every time she opened her mouth, it's this. And I want Miss Foster to know, you are in a relationship. You've been in this relationship for a couple of years now. But your sister that's out here, oh, they gonna feel this. Your sister that are out here are going to feel this. Huh? Most black men don't interact with no black manosphere. And yet they are running into women who think just like you. And they will be regulated to Munching University. Get your munch on. To being the sexual plaything for non-black men, hoping and praying and wishing that turns into something more than her just getting smashed and dashed. Huh? I want to emphasize this to Foreign Man, to Conscious Lee, to Deontay, to FD Signifier. As long as y'all have this goddamn garden gnome troll, as long as y'all have the Miss Fosters of the world talking, and talking especially how she does, appreciate she's the one. Women like her are the reason why young men come over here listening to us. They're sitting next to the Kim Fosters in class. They have the Kim Fosters as professors and teachers. And they're not going to come listen to you tell them, well, you got to understand, and we got to take accountability. Oh, you better believe them brothers are coming over here to the black manosphere, because what you're trying to do over there is pacify them. We're telling them that to believe their eyes. You're telling them don't believe their lying eyes, and Miss Foster ain't that bad. Okay. Huh? Yikes. This garden gnome, every chance she gets, she jabbed. You better believe it. She can't help it, y'all. She can't help it. And I get it. Huh? I understand. I get it. Huh? Continuing.
Is there something completely new and different if you are no longer beholden at all to the American gender order, which, yes, is, intertwined with race, but you get to the race stuff by undoing the fake naturalized man on top, woman on bottom. Femininity must be minimized.
But how do you incentivize the artists formerly known as black men? How do you incentivize them? That's the question, Miss Foster. How do you incentivize them to do anything? Okay, we're gonna strip all of this manhood idea from you and go out and challenge the white men European beauty standard, and go out and challenge the white nuclear family, and don't dream of having that. How with and you wonder why you saw a bump in black men voting Republican. Huh? You wonder why so many black men sat home during this election. Huh? You wonder why you have black men exploring third party. You're telling them we're going to degender you, we're going to defang you, and yet we still want you after the fact to go challenge white men's nuclear families, huh? The European beauty standard, the idea of male leadership just because, huh? Meanwhile, your incentive is what? You know the problem is you haven't imagined, Z. You haven't imagined. You don't have the you lack the political imagination. You don't have the imagination, Z, to think of all the wonderful things that will come from the disillusionment of gender. If we get rid of gender and gender performance, no, yikes. Hey, and Cam says, if Idris Elba, excuse me, if Idris Elba to her fire hydrant built as beach getting in the beach, yeah, I get what you said. B get in the car, okay. She's going and will try to sit down somewhere, popping out his kids like a Pez dispenser, not the candy. Ho, stop playing in my face, bro. It's fascinating listening to her speaking and knowing if you were to send prime time like Will, like you said, Idris Elba, um, um, who else? Maybe a Michael B. Jordan, whatever her flavor of black man, maybe white man, but black man in this case is. And like he softcore pulled her slowly, was tugging at that feminist thing. It would be a great science experiment to see if she wouldn't go. If he pulled up, he had the money and status, he could provide her with the lifestyle, and he slowly was hinting like, yo, that feminist crap is out of here. Like I'm not doing that. For you to be over here with me with this lifestyle, you got to get rid of all of that. It would be fascinating to watch her say no. I would love to see her say no. Huh? LeBron's not with Savannah James. I would love for her to watch her say no to LeBron. I'm not interested. I would love to see her say no. Huh? These women be full of crap. That's a real question. That's a real question for misandrist hoarder or herder. I keep on saying hoarder. Herder. I don't know how that's hitting y'all ears. I hope y'all are hearing that clearly. Um and Kim Foster, that's a real question. What in the hell is the incentive for the men now? Oh, I'm sorry. The artist formerly known as black men. What's the incentive now? And KMS, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Huh? Yikes. And Big Mo says she says a lot. Oh, she says a lot, looking like a female anthropomorphic. Anthropomorphic. There we go. Anthropomorphic. There you go, Z. Anthropomorphic hippo from the movie Madagascar. Hysterical. And validate the experience of black men. Why should any of us be nice? For me, Kim Foster knows how to speak the language of upper class white women. And when you run into a black woman like this, they know how to speak upper class white women language. That's why you see her um on the financial diet. She's been there a couple of times. So is Miss Ford, the heavy set black woman, white husband, doing pretty well in life. But these are black women who went to university or college or worked with these particular type of white women, the Leisha Millers of the world. They worked with those women or they went to school with them. Even though Kim Foster didn't go to law school, but still. And so they know how to speak their language and they know how to appeal to them. And they know how to make it seem as if Mr. Z and black men like me, many of you, are just these retrograde sexist, like irredeemably sexist, misogynistic, misogynorist assholes who our goal in life is to crush black women and to drag them kicking and screaming by their hair into the kitchen and to be the most oppressive, like cartoonishly oppressive men, artists formerly known as black men, to be the most oppressive creatures the world has ever known to black women, to make up for our insatiable inferiority complex because we don't get to be white men. And so the only way for us to experience any type of manhood is to oppress brutally LGBTQ folks, children, black children, and black women. And they keep on selling that story. And unfortunately, like battered wives, black women love black men anyway. And they keep on selling this story that white liberal women want to hear anyway, white conservative women want to hear anyway, but white liberal women, in case of this conversation, they keep on selling this story to white liberals, white liberal women in specific. They keep selling this story. White liberal women will never get tired of this story. White liberal men will never tire of this story. White conservative men will never tire of this story. White conservative women will never tire of this story. And black women gonna sell that story every single time. That's where Kim Foster comes in. So why I continue to try to reel back, because it's taken a lot. Not to make the ad hominem attacks. It's because the Kim Fosters of the world will point at that and be like, you see, right? Now she's jabbing at us. You can clearly tell she's jabbing at us all through this. She's jabbing at the black men, right? But everybody's going to ignore that. And so all it takes is for Mr. Z to speak about what we know and what we can see and what's very, very observable. At least in the black community, we all know what it is. Now, black women are going to pretend like they don't know what her issue is. Huh? But we all know why she sound the way she sound. It's stupidly clear. Even a caveman could see it. Everybody could see in the black community why she sound the way she sound. Black women gonna cover for her. Some black men, like the FDs and foreign mans, gonna cover for her. But we all know why she sound the way she sound. Especially as she's Harvard educated. She was supposed to come out of Harvard and any, many, mighty, mo, any one of you 6'5" tall ass brothers with similar Harvard or Yale or anyone in the Ivy League type of background, earning 300 and some odd thousand, a million a year, huh? The nice home in the nice neighborhood, right? So she could still do her feminist thing, but being backed and funded by Daddy Warbucks' husband or quote unquote spouse. Oh, Z, you're about to have to say the word. Or quote unquote partner. So I reel back because I'm not being nice here, but I'm not being the full on Z asshole I could be either. I reel back in attempts to not give her gasoline. And I did a really horrible job at it tonight. I ain't even gonna lie. Huh? Appreciate why Mr. Z got so animated. It's because this is what they weaponize. When you listen to Kim Foster speak, appreciate this mentality, this way of speaking. They speak like this in front of the white women. Huh? They speak like this in front of white women. They speak like this in front of white liberal men, white liberal women. Huh? And then you wonder why you run into some of these white folks who don't really appreciate what's going on in the black community, and they regurgitate to you, recite to you some black feminist crap. Yeah, because the Kim Fosters got to them first. And it's really, and if you're a white person who want to practice your backwards, underhanded racism, oh yeah, you're gonna pick sides and you're gonna pick the black woman side every time because it's easier to control a Kim Foster if you're a rich white woman. If you're a rich white man, oh, that's cakewalk. She ain't challenging you. She might snicker at you a little bit. We heard when she was snickering at the working class white dude. But you're not her major concern. She'll worry about you later. Black men, and using the institutions to make black men bow while she speaks about this egalitarian crap. That's her major thing. We don't trust you, bro. And once again, thank you for the super chat, Big Mo. Thank you for the super chat. Right? And KMS says, these chicks aren't married to what they say. Diglett will drop it for the right man to be nice. Right dick to be accurate. I've seen it and lived it. KMS said, look, I seen it. KMS saying, I'm not telling you what I'm speculating, Z. This ain't no speculation, Z. This is what I know. This is what I've lived. Huh? I hear you, KMS. I hear you. I'm not doubting it. I'm not doubting it. I'm not going to doubt it. But these trolls, bro, man. And I'm not going to play the rest of it. We'll get to it. We'll either get to it tomorrow or, I'm letting too much time go through. We're about to hit the 2 hour mark. I'm going to let it get a couple minutes over the 2 hour mark. That way I don't have to worry too long about processing. Yeah, y'all. And I wanted to address one of the brothers in my comments. As a matter of fact, let me get his screen name. Y'all gives you a second. Okay, I think I got his name right. Peso Man. In my comments for the last stream, he was like, essentially, he was like, Z, where'd you go? Like, I know you got kind of worked up about the whole AUS FBA thing, and you didn't do a stream this weekend. Mr. Z actually relaxed yesterday and went to go see Superman with Ms. Z. So I know I didn't drop a stream yesterday. I didn't drop a stream earlier today like I usually do. My certain things changed a little bit work wise, so we're gonna have to work around certain things. I'm still gonna be getting weekend streams. It's gonna be a little different, but no, I didn't. Yeah. The whole Sarge Willie Pete and the AUS FBA thing that did not deter Z from streaming. That's not what happened. That's not it. Um, and thank you for the concern. And no, but that's not it. Yeah. So I'm not spilling the tea, Passport OG, on nothing about the movie. It was straight. It was just pretty, yeah. And Passport OG also says luxury feminism. Yeah, I mean, Miss Foster is doing well financially. Um, from my understanding, her man is doing well financially. I'm sorry. Her artist formerly known as a black man is doing. Her partner is doing well financially. Um, and so what she's saying sounds nice, but working class women, working poor black women who think just like her, but that don't have the finances, black men appreciate that, and we leave them the hell alone. Lower middle class, working poor black women who think just like Miss Foster. We appreciate that, and we move the hell away. We leave them to their own devices, pun intended. And we already know, once again, single and childless black women have the least amount of wealth in America. Once again, black and Latina women who never marry are the least wealthy in the US. Huh? So this to Z, the way Miss Foster speaking, the way Masandris Herder is speaking, these are luxury beliefs. These are luxury beliefs. It sound nice. You defang the men, you take away any aspiration, you completely shred any type of patriarchy or manhood or masculinity as we traditionally know it. Cool. And what are the incentives for the artists formerly known as black men? I'll wait. To do anything for any woman, let alone black woman. And let's be very clear what's going to happen. The elites are still going to get married. You just going to turn marriage into more and more of an exclusive item in our society. So the elites will still get married. They'll still have elaborate weddings. Many of them will still be married for a lifetime, at least a couple decades. And all the rest of us will be freestyling. Huh? No nuclear families. Birth rate still going to the crapper. Huh? Black women still poor as hell, pretending like they don't know why an increasing amount of black men are mingling with non-black women, marrying if that's a thing in the future, non-black women. Huh? Y'all want to make yourselves the gypsy class of America? So be it. The Roma class of America? So be it. Huh? And KMS says these chicks aren't married to what they say. Oh yeah, I read this already. Z, look. You got to end it out. Z, you already reading the same thing twice. You just read it. True. Okay, y'all. Um, and I'm sorry to kind of get unglued like that earlier. I'm gonna start doing more pre-records. I'm gonna start actually. Well, I've said more. I haven't done a pre-recorded forever. Um, and I'm gonna work on, as I said before, less laughter, less giggling. I know, shout out to my subscribers. Y'all get it, y'all understand. And thank you for bearing with Z and his schoolgirl giggles. Um, there's gonna be streams where I have to be way more serious, and I think I'm gonna try that a little bit. Not even a little bit. We're gonna try that next stream when we cover this whole thing, hopefully. Um, but yeah, so I think we're gonna have to take a be a bit more serious, especially for what I foresee coming. Um, pause. Check my community tab because I actually want to cover Tone Talks um coverage of a couple of streams. They're about 20 some odd minutes each, and I want to cover them. So we're gonna do a little bit of Doomer streaming um in the next couple days because I think it's important. So I want to cover his stream from a couple of weeks ago, and then his stream from a couple of days ago. Yeah, very important. Yeah. Big Mo says the red pill therapist is rubbing off on you. Look, yeah, yeah. I think he did a fantastic job speaking on this. And shout out to him. Jeff James, y'all said his name was. Shout out to that brother. He did a masterful chef's kiss job. You know the women are seething, but they just can't catch him up between his delivery, his word choice, the way he enunciates his words, his accomplishments, um, the fact that he is married to a black woman. Yeah, it's gonna make it real difficult, and you're gonna watch some of them just come out the bag on him. Um, but it's making it real difficult to combat what he's saying, especially when what he's saying is backed up by facts and evidence, right? So yeah, so shout out to that brother once again. Um, it's really difficult combating these things because what what animates a Kim Foster, and it's frustrating sometimes with these streams trying to speak above it. It's really frustrating to not state the obvious, right? And to not just go for the very obvious, the jugular, because that's the easy route. That's the easy route. But it doesn't address what she's saying, right? And how this affects the individuals, the collection of individuals formerly known as the black community. There you go. Put it in the book. The collection of individuals formerly known as the black community. Huh? So if y'all want to do this hyper individuality thing, I've been speaking on this for years. I'm glad we here now. Y'all thought Mr. Z was making it up. Hyper individuality. I told you that's what they was on. Huh? You want to talk about hyper? What she said, hyper masculinity earlier? No, 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 no. Y'all want to do this hyper individuality thing? You better tell black women what that means for them. Huh? So to that black woman who was harassed, or I think she might have even been assaulted, excuse me, by the Latinos a couple months ago, and she recorded herself. The black men didn't do anything. We don't owe you that. Ain't no community. I would not want this for my sisters. I don't want this for my girl cousins. I don't want this for any black woman that I care about. I don't want this for black women at all, but this is what y'all want. Ooh, goddamn. You want individuality? Excuse me. Say that again, better Z. You want individuality? You're gonna get it. All of it. Huh? Wow. So, on that note, everyone, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. For the love of God, put Miss Foster back on the screen. Ooh, goddamn Z, damn it Z. Sorry, Telescope, if he's still up. So we'll put Miss Foster back on the screen, but we'll pause right here. I think we've done enough for tonight. Right? I'm sorry to torture y'all. My apologies, everyone. We had to do it. Z, no, we didn't. You had to do what? Why, Z? No, it's important. The y'all need to hear her for yourselves. Yes, I'm interpreting these things. Yes, we give it our commentary, but y'all need to hear her for yourselves. You have to appreciate what your girl cousins and what your sisters, right? When they're in school, who's their girlfriend, right? We're talking about platonic. Who's their girlfriend? Who's their professor, right? Who's their associates? Who's the person they working on the project with? And it's a Miss Foster talking like this. Huh? Louis said, just blame me, Z. Oh man, I didn't know you were still listening, Louis. Thank you. Right. So on that note, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. For the love of God, Mr. Z go work on his discipline and not even getting close to ad hominem attacks. Because I was there today. Ooh, I was there tonight. Oh, but yeah. On that note, everyone, y'all have a great rest of your night. Mr. Z out.